Slayer, and I have some confessions for you. But first, I have a disclaimer. These are my personal views and not the views of any government agency. I also want to say that if you're expecting a tell-all takedown of the current administration, or maybe a spell, it's not this talk. Some people say this talk might be even scarier. I'll let you decide. On that note, let's begin. I drew this arrow to represent how we often talk about government ethics. We use it as a weapon in partisan warfare. We often say unethical when we really mean immoral or bad or I'm just angry. But today I'm here to talk about ethics as foundation, especially in the executive branch where I worked. What can we expect from our unelected government officials? And I'm here to say that the foundation has been rotting for decades. Which leads me to confession one. A robot could do my job better. A big part of my job is spotting for conflicts of interest. And I know for a fact that there are computer programs out there that can do this more effectively and efficiently than I ever could. To spot a conflict, you need to know two things. Circle one, the employee's wealth and connections in business and family. Circle two, what they're up to on a day-to-day basis. We use a form made in 1978 to do this. 1978, there weren't even LLCs. We never imagined having a president who might need to list 500 of them on his form. Anyway, who's incredibly bad at data entry? Humans, also high-level government officials. So this picture is a study that Congress commissioned in 2013. I was cited in this study. I was not consulted on the cover design. However, they had some interesting findings. They said, one, this form has huge shortcomings and is very outdated. For one, it doesn't capture any information at all about government actions. Ethics officials are often left Googling employees to try to figure out what they're up to. Also, nobody's looked at this system for 35 years. That study was 5 years ago, so now it's 40. Confession two, my worst nightmare. So what? Let's say hypothetically, just hypothetically of course, a political appointee comes up to me and says, I'm not going to do it. I'm not following the rules. Well, I used to point to the Washington Post test. I said, you don't want your career to end in the newspapers. However, we know the Washington Post is busy with other things right now, and so this isn't a great deterrent. So now all I have left to say is, by law, if the ethics office learns of a criminal violation, we report you to our IG. They, if they agree, boot you to DOJ. But what this feels like in reality is reporting you to Black Hole 1 and Black Hole 2. For one, IG inspections take forever. Often the government official has already left for greener pastures. They're in private industry. And it boils down to we have an honor system, folks. We as citizens are the homeowner who left a big bowl of candy out and didn't want to deal with trick or treat. We're trusting government officials to obey out of the goodness of their hearts. Confession three. If you have crappy forms and it's all an honor system, then what's left? Training. Training is fun. It's the part that makes my job impossible to do. Everyone knows that if you give a decent training, you get tenfold the work in response, right? Employees are finally engaged. You've gotten in front of them in person. They have questions. But ethics training is optional for almost all government employees. Also, it's expensive. And ratios like these are not uncommon. I had an ethics team of 20 people in an agency of 100,000. This is satire, and not the good kind. So I quit, as of 4 months ago. As of 4 months ago, I decided I could do better work outside of the system than in it. It's time to have an honest discussion about how these ethics rules are really working on the ground, or not. It's also time to question our assumptions. We built this system in the 70s on the belief that removing bias creates public trust. I don't think that's true. What does create public trust? It's an open question. What can we do? Well, for one, can we have software that screens for conflicts of interest? If you're a coder out there, I would love to talk to you. But for two, we have a lot of energy right now, in the ethics arena, and a lot of it's getting spent on arrows. If we can shift this outrage to a more calm and detailed discussion of the foundations, I think we have a real opportunity here. Let's not waste this political moment. Finally, this is a picture of me and my kid from years ago. My hope is that by the time our kids are old enough to vote, we'll have done the hard work and the discussions of what makes good government effective, anti-corruption systems that work, and how do we hold these people accountable for real. Thank you very much.